Greetings, YouTube! The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Marvel Contest of Champions. And we have a few things that we need to talk about today. For one, we are going to be talking about this, introducing Radiance, the new competitive currency for MCOC, not to replace other currencies, but in addition to, according to the article. And we're also going to talk about some changes that have happened to the game recently through the Trello board update for some fixes and some glitches and some bugs and other things like that. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment. Don't forget to share the video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Let's talk about the Trello board first. We got this a couple of days ago. It is the 23rd. We got this on the 21st from Kabam Pinwheel. And it says, "Greetings, summoners. Welcome to the first of our new weekly Trello board update summaries." And there is a link to it right here. We're going to look at that. Covering the week of April 14th. So this is last week. And looks like there was, so they're going to give us a wrap up of what's on the Trello board. And here is the Trello board right here. There's a lot. So gameplay champions, quests, AWAQ stuff, battlegrounds, relics, other. If we go up here, like here's the spiral run right here. If you click on that, it'll give you the date right here, which was April 18th, and it'll tell you what it is. So these are the things that Kabam is actively working on, but they're giving us kind of a summary wrap-up here of it. So first off, we've got Spiral Special 1 beam is auto-blocked just after impact. The hit visual FX will linger for too long. So those are updates. Those are things to be fixed. Seeing Red, which is an Act 9.2.2, does not grant Fury when an immunity activates mid-fight, so that might impact anybody that's doing, I believe that's the second quest for Act 9. Mismatches in Daily Super Event, rewards description, consistent lag issue, a bunch of different stuff that happened here. And then the fixes live for Dexterity Mastery, Mystic Henchpool, unable to consistently chain hits into Special 1. Oikoya does not trigger the capture special dodge when weapon node. So you can see where all this stuff is right here. But that is not the main focus of our video for today. The main focus for our video for today is introducing the Radiance. So it says, "Hi everyone, crashed here." That is Kabam crashed. I am excited to share the details of our plans for Radiance, our new competitive currency. So let's look through this. So it's a long article. We're not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to give you the highlights. So to make the goal of the currency, they got 3 goals. To make rank rewards in our competitive modes easier, which means battlegrounds, AW, and AQ. To allow endgame players to choose which modes they want to play while remaining competitive. And when they mean competitive, they mean that there is a ranking system that is associated with these things. So at the end of Battlegrounds, you get a rank. At the end of Alliance War, your team gets a rank. At the end of AQ, you get a rank. So to allow for more accurate planning over the volume of rewards distributed to competitive players. So while the introduction of Radiance will result in changes to ranked rewards that decrease the sources for currencies like trophy tokens, Radiance does not completely replace any existing currencies. So glory, loyalty, and trophy tokens. So glory is AQ, loyalty is Alliance War, and trophy tokens are for Battlegrounds, are more engagement-based currencies that will still have a place in the game. Trophy tokens, for instance, will still be available in the victory track. Just to properly set expectations, Radiance will only be available for those who compete at the top of the game, roughly the top 100,000 players in Battlegrounds, Alliance War, and Alliance Quest. And they're going to give us kind of a breakdown for this. So right now, this is just going to apply to Battlegrounds. So they're going to tell us. But eventually, it's going to apply to Alliance War and Alliance Quest. And they're giving us this little table here for Alliance War, Alliance Quest, and for solo, it will be Battlegrounds, which is PvP. They haven't said anything about any player versus enemy events, so there's question marks there. In the post, I mentioned we are working on a new game mode, and that game mode will fill in the missing pieces of the puzzle, so that's probably going to be this right here. But it will also be solo ranked, so probably it'll be a point-based thing. You're going to have to do a thing. You get points for doing the thing. You're going to do the thing over and over and over and over again to farm the points, and then you'll get you'll get Radiance for it. So here's talk about the Radiance store. So champion acquisition and rank up materials that are going to be in the store are going to reset every 35 days, which is the same cycle as Battlegrounds. And then there will be consumables, and those will reset every 7 days. There will also be a limit to purchase items which do not reset. Some of these, like the Mastery Point and the Deathless Piece. So there's going to be a Mastery Point in here. Wow. And the Deathless Piece selectors will be available indefinitely. Okay. So it means you can get them. They're not going to ever go away. Other items will only be available for one cycle. These single cycle items will start to appear in the store later this year after Radiance is added to AW and AQ. The Radiance store is the premium store in MCOC. I don't know why they did it like that, but we always say capital M, capital C, capital O, capital C, but that is what it is. So a lot of lower tier items will not be available. However, should someone for some reason want to spend Radiance on lower tier catalysts or alloys, players will be able to exchange Radiance for trophy tokens to access the trophy token store. So store access and pricing. Many of the decisions related to Radiance were done with the ease of update in mind. For this reason, there is no differentiation in pricing for different progressions. Anybody Thronebreaker or above will have access to the store. Cavalier and below will only have access to the trophy token trade-in. Another factor is, I said earlier, only roughly the top 100,000 players will have meaningful access to Radiance. I myself am ranked 2,800 something out of all the players in the game, which fluctuates between 5 and 8 million every month. Since there are more than 100,000 Valiant players, we anticipate almost all Radiance will be earned by the top progressions, meaning building out pricing for lower progressions would have been a waste of resources. A similar philosophy was applied to store pricing. There's some weird prices, and that's because we have set up the store so that pricing is entirely formulaic. All right, so store updates. Because of the design decisions discussed above, the store will be much easier to update than other stores, meaning that the store is going to change every 35 days, and they may make things cheaper, they may make things more expensive, and they may introduce new things as we get new rank up materials, new types of ISO, that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. Our goal is to do so regularly, and I like this idea a lot because the Trader's Outpost and the Mysterium mechanic has gotten very, very stale. I'm not going to give a definite time frame, but I can say we'd be targeting roughly 3 to 4 updates every year. So that's great. It's going to change 3 to 4 times every year. All right. So store curves. Some players will earn 10,000 Radiance a cycle, and the cycle is 35 days. Some will earn 100,000 Radiance a cycle, and some may earn close to 1 million Radiance a cycle. That is somebody who doesn't do anything but play this game. The only way to tune it so players that earn 10,000 can get something meaningful, while the players that earn 1 million doesn't run out of stuff to buy, is to apply a curve. However, unlike the curve in the Glory Store, which are linear, the Radiant Store has curves that are much flatter for the first few purchases with a faster acceleration later in the curve. Okay, so things are going to get purchase number, so the more you purchase something, the more expensive it's going to be. I think that is the way it is for most things. The Trophy Store does the same, or the Glory Store does the same thing. things get more expensive as you go in. I don't think that this is linear. I think it's they say it's linear. Okay, I'm going to be looking at the other screen now. So this is the store tuning. And these are the things that we can expect in the store to reset every 35 days. Tier 7 basic catalyst fragments. You can buy up to 6,300. They cost 12,500 for the first one. A fully formed Tier 6 basic catalyst, that's big, for 125,000 Radiance. And if you want more, it's going to cost a lot more. And then there are all the other tier alpha catalysts and things like that. So then we've got a 7-star Awakening Gem Crystal Shard, 1,000, costs 12,500, so you need 10,000 of those. Sig Stones, Sig Stone Crystals. A 7-star Hero Crystal is going to be 25,000. A 7-star Titan Crystal is going to be 75,000. Loyalty Crystal, Incursions Crystal, so those are 25 grand a piece. Shards are going to be 2,500 for 1,500, so that works out. This is 25,000 for a 7-star crystal, and 10% of that is 2,500, so that works out. However, that's only for the first one, so you're better off buying the base, saving up for the base crystal than buying shards. And we got a Abyss Nexus Crystal. I think the big thing out of here is going to be these Tier 7s. The 7-star Awakening Gem Crystal Shard. There's not a 7-star Awakening Gem in here, but there are shards, which are going to be mucho expensive to get a fully formed one. And then the Hero Crystals and the Titan Crystal. And then we've got Revives, Health Potions, Boosts. Here's the Mastery Point. The Mastery Point is going to be 125,000, and you're going to be able to buy a second one. It says limit 1, but they have pricing in here for a second one. I don't understand that. So I guess that's 1 per cycle. Or no, never resets. So it's really only 1. So I don't know why they've got this in here. Deathless Piece Selector. You can buy up to 5. Rare, why would anybody want to buy that? And then you can turn this in for tokens. Now here's an interesting thing here that I noticed, that you can also turn in for units. You can get up to 750 units. That's going to be not too bad. It's going to start out at 1208 Radiant. So that's pretty cool. I like all that. There's some juicy rewards out of there. So Battlegrounds ranked rewards. Radiance will replace existing rewards. So here they go. And this is only for Gladiator Circuit. So I'm going to point this out. I normally get in the Urus around Uru 3 to 1. And at the end of the cycle, number of summoners, Radiance, they're just giving us the average number of people that normally get this. So I'm anywhere from here to here. So I'm going to get anywhere from 25,000 to probably 31,000, but here's where it gets ridiculous. That player that Celestial won is going to get 500,000. So that's where this is going to make Battlegrounds extremely competitive. But for me, I'm gonna bet on 25,000 Radiance per cycle from this, and then so they've got summoners for each tier. So 9,000 for Uru, 6,000 for Gamma. I think these are just the averages. And then we're going to have objective rewards. So here's these. Reach the Gladiator Circuit in 1 week. So if you do it in 1 week, you're going to get 10,000 radius. If you achieve a 100 rating on the Gladiator Circuit, you're going to get another 10,000. And if you achieve 200, you're going to get, in 3 weeks, you're going to get another 10,000. So that's 30,000 that you can get there, in addition to all this up here. Reaching Gladiator Circuit in a week is doable, but it is going to be for players that do a lot. They're only going to be doing Battlegrounds. And then other items, first Radiance cap is going to be 600,000. You're not going to be able to get 1 million. You're going to be able to get 600,000, and they're going to reevaluate it once they have added AW and AQ. Second, While I said earlier, this will not completely replace any existing currencies. We are going to work to simplify them. To this end, loyalty will be returning to a currency that is used almost exclusively to buy AW consumables. So they're going to change the Alliance War store, the loyalty store. If you want any of the champion materials currently available in AW store, now is the time to get them because they're going to be removing them later on. Unstoppable Colossus is going to remain, which nobody gets. We may or may not deprecate. I guess they meant to use the word deprecate. The loyalty shatter system, we will let you all know once we make a decision. So, and then in closing, he's got some things. So, big takeaways here. Lots of Radiance, but you need to make the Gladiator circuit. You can probably get 10,000 within a week. That's doable. I'm going to be gunning for 25,000 every 35 days, and which means that I really want to gun for these Titan crystals or some of these rank ups for rank 4s. So, I guess we'll be going forward with that. Looks pretty cool to me. I like it. It does break the game up quite a bit. Gives us something new to achieve, something new to look forward to. It is going to make Battlegrounds extremely competitive again, and people will be doing everything in Battlegrounds for like the first 6 months of this to get all that Radiance. Okay, we'll have more people in Battlegrounds, which means we'll have more competition and probably hopefully better matchups. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody